All right, so now today we are looking at writing the equation given the graph. Yesterday we were given the equation and we wrote the graph. We graphed it. Okay, so now we have to make the equation from the graph. So remember what slope-intercept form is. What's the form look like?
Y equals MX.
Good. Y equals mx plus b. Okay. Now, what's the b represent? The y-intercept. The y-intercept. Okay. Remember, yesterday we learned it's always 0 for our x value, and the second part of the equation was the b value. That was the value across the y-axis. What's the m stand for again? Slope. And on a graph, what's the slope look like? What ratio is it? Very good. Rise over run. So we need these two things to make the equation. To write this equation, we have to have a y-intercept and we have to have a slope. Okay? We can get both of these from the graph. So we replace these letters with numbers and we'll have an equation. So let's go to the first graph, number 1. Again, we're trying to make an equation. Y equals something times x plus something. So let's first identify our y-intercept. What's our y-intercept? 4. 0, 4 is our y-intercept. Here's our y-intercept. 0, 4. So does that go next to the x or after the x? After, right there. So positive 4 plus 4. Now we got to get our slope from the graph, rise over run. So we have to find another point on this graph. We're looking for corners of a square. That one has a corner right there. So left to right, you have to go up or down. Down how far?
1.
And over to the right? 1. So down 1 is -1, and to the right 1 is +1. So our slope is -1 over 1. Which is just -1 or just -x. You could put the 1 there if you want, -1 there if you want. But remember, a computer might mark that wrong, probably will. So there's our equation. Two things, y-intercept and a slope. And you can get them both from the graph. Let's move over to the next graph, number 2. Whoops. All right, so before we even start identifying the key features we need, can you tell me what kind of slope should we have for this line? Positive. That's right. We are going left to right. We're increasing, so it's a positive slope. Positive slope. All right, so let's go ahead and identify our two things we need. We need the y-intercept. What's our y-intercept here? Very good. 0, -4. 0, -4 is our y-intercept. And this next thing we need is the slope. So what's our rise over run factor here? Good. So we can't use this point, but someone said you can go up 2 and over to the right 1 right there. So we have a point right there we could use. We could also use that one way up there if we had to, or even way up here or way up there. All those vertical changes over the horizontal change will be the same when you simplify it. So we see that we have to go up, +2, up 2, and to the right 1. So our slope is 2 over 1, or just 2. Now we have the two things we need. Let's write the equation. Y equals 2 as our slope, so 2x. And what's our y-intercept? -4 for that part of the equation. I want you guys to go ahead and try the next two on your own. Number 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Remember, add some points going through the corner of a square to help you find the slope. All right, so again, remember, you want to start by finding the y-intercepts. I'm going to put a little number 1 up here next to that y-intercept. Start with the y-intercepts and then find your slope. Once you have those two things, you can make your equation. So we go to number 3. Let's find our what first? Y-intercept. Okay, so what is that y-intercept? -2. So I have a y-intercept of 0, -2. I'll have something -2 at the end of my equation. Okay. Now, some of you out there are having your own conversations. Good luck. I'm not focusing here. You're not going to succeed. Okay, pay attention. You might learn something. Next, I have to find a point on the line. So I can't use that one nor that one, but this one is in the corner of a square. I'm going to choose that point right there. And going left to right, I know this is going down. It's a decreasing line. I'll have a negative here. I have to go down how far?
2.
Down 2. So that's a negative 2 for my slope. My slope will be negative 2. And then over to the right, how far? 3. 3. So my run is 3. So there's my slope. So y will equal negative 2/3 of x minus 2. Do not forget to have your x in there. Number 4, once again, we're identifying a slope and a y-intercept to make these equations. First thing is the y-intercept. What's our y-intercept there? 3, 0, 3. So I'm going to have something plus 3. Okay, what's my slope here, left to right? I have to go up or down? Up. I have to go up 1, so positive 1 up, and to the right 3. So positive 1/3 of x. Okay, let's go down to the next one. All right, I was just going to do the rest of them on video here. Number 6. Okay, so again, we're trying to make these equations. Y equals something times x plus something. All right, what's my plus something here?
There's no plus.
Well, it's plus negative 3, so we could write just minus 3. But you might see it on Khan Academy as plus negative 3. You will. What's my slope? This is the hard one to see here, that this is actually going down left to right. I chose another point. It's way up here. So again, left to right, go from the blue one, it's more left than the red one. I have to go down 6. Down 6 and to the right 1. So negative 6 is my slope. So negative 6x minus 3. All right, let's go to the tricky one, number 7. All right, we look at this one. We might get tricked into this being a point right there. But if we zoom in, though, you can see that's not going through the corner of a square right there. It's going through the corner way up here. Okay, so at a point there. I had a student last period tell me, I also knew that this could not be a point. Here, I'll put a dot there so we can talk about it. This green one could not be a point because she saw the slope was not consistent. If you were to go from here, the red one, to this one, you would have to go left. So you'd have a horizontal of 2 and an up of 3. So that'd be a negative 3 over 2. Now you could go do it again, up 3 over 2. You wouldn't land on that spot. Okay, so it's inconsistent. That means this dot right here, this point, is no good. All right, that was a cool way of explaining it that student did. So we see this change is down how far?
7.
Down 7. Down 7. And to the right, how far? 5. So my slope is what? Negative 7/5. What's my y-intercept here? 0, negative 3. So there's my two numbers for the equation. Y equals negative 7/5 times x minus 3. All right, last example here. Let's go ahead and write it as we see it. What's our slope? What's our slope? Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. So negative 1 over 1 is just negative 1. So you could put negative 1 or just negative x. And what's our y-intercept there?
Plus 2.
Positive 2. So there's our equation. Negative x plus 2. May the math be with you.